Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alexia, for those of you who don't know. And I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my adventure. I'm going to be moving to Scotland in February. I currently live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is in Canada, for those of you who don't know. And I will be moving there on what we call the Youth Mobility Scheme visa. So that is a 2-year working visa that allows you to live and work in the UK for up to 2 years, and it's good for people from the ages of 18 to 30. So if you apply before your 31st birthday, you don't have to worry about applying before you're 30. It's before your 31st birthday. And you are Canadian, you have to have a certain amount of money in your bank account. So in pounds, it's 1,890. So currently, with the exchange rate in Canadian funds, that is about $3,300. I always just double everything. So I'll be applying for my visa in less than a month now. So you can apply for this visa up to 6 months prior to you leaving. So I leave February 12th. So I will be arriving in the UK and checking into my Airbnb February 13th. So the earliest I can apply is August 14th. So the 6 months and a day is kind of your time frame. So once we apply for the visa, we have to pay a healthcare surcharge. So that's £400. We also have to pay an application fee. That's also in pounds. I believe that's 300. And then of course we need to have the savings in our bank account, and in order to prove that, we need to get a letter from our bank saying that we have that money in our bank accounts and it has been there for, I believe, 90 days. Now once we've done that, we can go online. That's how you have to do it now, is do your application online. So you apply online, you enter all of your information. Now I did like a mock application a few months ago just to see what kind of my requirements were, and you need to have an address of where you're going to be staying when you get to the UK. So in order to do that, I needed to book my Airbnb prior to applying for my visa, so I would have an address. And the reason they need an address is because they have this thing called your biometrics. So when you apply for your visa, you actually have to go down to a visa center to get your biometrics done. And then once you get to the UK, I'll get into it a little bit further, once we start the application process and book our appointments at the visa center. There are a couple different locations in Canada as well. We're going to be going to the one in Toronto, which is the main one. If you go to any of the other visa centers, you do have to pay, I think, $100 fee or something. I'm not sure why. I'll look into that though. So in regards to the mock application, you need to have the address, so that way you can pick up your biometrics card. So this card is what's going to allow you to work in the UK. So you would have to keep this on you at all times. It's like your identification. It's like the size of a driver's license. You keep it in your wallet. But the reason they need to know your address is because you actually have to pick it up at a post office so they can verify your identification. And they pick the closest post office to where you're staying. So that's why you need an address prior to going. And in order to book an Airbnb or a hotel, you need to know when you're going to be there. So we kind of had to do it backwards. So we booked our flights first, and then we booked our Airbnb in order to be able to know when we're going to be getting to UK and where we're going to be staying, so we know where we're going to be picking up our biometrics. So part of the visa application is traveling to a visa center. So we have chosen to travel to the visa center in Toronto. That's the main location. So we travel there from Winnipeg. Thank God I have a friend there who's going to be picking us up at the airport, and we're going to be staying with him. So you know, we don't have to spend too much money on that. We just have to pay for the flights to get out. So we book appointments online when we are filling out our visa application. And then once we book the appointments, we can book our flights accordingly. So we're going to be going in October, to do that. So you go there, you bring your passport, you bring your appointment sheet that you get when you do your visa application. You get a sheet that you have to bring with you that has your appointment time. It tells you what time to be there, and you have to be there, I think, 5 or 10 minutes before your appointment, no more, no less. And then you have to actually leave your visa with them in order for them to your passport with them in order for them to process it. So if you're Canadian and you are traveling within Canada, you can do that with your driver's license or another form of government issued ID that's not your passport. So probably a gun license or an identification card that you can get that's not a driver's license. So so you would leave your visa, or sorry, not your visa, you would leave your passport there, and then from there they'll process it, and then they'll mail everything back to you, and then you'll be good to go. So once I've kind of done the application and gotten my appointment time, I will post another video just to let you guys know kind of what the process was. We can do a little screen recording as well in regards to the application, so I can show you guys how to fill it out properly, and you know, what kind of information you're going to need prior to filling out your application. That way you can be all set up. And then I will take you all with me when we go to Toronto to attend our visa appointment, and see what kind of information that they need from me then, and then how long it takes to get back, and hopefully we'll get approved, fingers crossed, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.